The significant events I'm about to fully detail for you are directly and intrinsically connected to the truly imminent and escalating global conflict that is currently brewing all around the world. But in Europe, for sure, Europe is being drawn into war. So in this context, friends, people started looking at prison statistics. Prisons in Europe, in particular Germany and Switzerland, are currently working on this. In Germany, a significant proportion, specifically 50%, of all individuals incarcerated as inmates are identified as so-called refugees, or asylum seekers, and more broadly, they are categorized as immigrants. This figure of 50%, that is already an extraordinarily huge and truly substantial number. Can you possibly imagine a full 50% of the incarcerated population just gone out, completely removed from the system? Then what? Will the entire country truly be cleansed of that many dangerous criminals? Well, that's absolutely great news. But in Switzerland, the system is different. There, 72% are immigrants. 72%. So now these various countries are actively considering the profound question. Do they genuinely need to invite more immigration, welcome additional immigrants, and truly open their national borders to a greater number of refugees seeking safety and new opportunities? If there are that many criminals, well, in Switzerland, 72%, that's just too much. So 28% of crimes are committed by Swiss citizens and 72% by foreigners. A policy has begun of strictly scrutinizing everyone living in Switzerland precisely through the lens. Well, friends, of course, prisons are prisons. They look at this issue through the banks, they approach it through the banks. And now every person, let's say, a bank client, but not just any bank. Again, not just any people's bank. A people's bank that is accessible to the average citizen. These are different things because it is precisely the people's banks that accept deposits from everyone, absolutely everyone, including immigrants. And that's precisely why now UBS, having successfully absorbed several significant banks over the past 2 decades, approximately 20 years, as far as I can distinctly recall, this is indeed the second major bank they've effectively taken over. UBS started scrutinizing every account, even the accounts of Swiss citizens, under a microscope. Is that clear? Where do you get your money from? Why are you receiving money? Who is transferring money to you? These are truly frightening things that you won't always be able to explain. Well, how are people sending you money? Or someone out there is transferring money. How are you going to explain that? Well, yes, my mom sent it. Who else is there? Who else is transferring money to you? Well, someone just paid back a debt. What debt? Why a debt? What agreement? Was there an agreement for this debt or not? Why did they give you money without an agreement? This is a police state system. That is to say, a comprehensive police state system is now being systematically implemented within financial institutions and banks, specifically designed to meticulously inspect and scrutinize all individual citizens who have opened and maintained an account there. I have never been there since the very beginning in Switzerland. Friends, that's more than, several years. I've never been to UBS Bank. It always somehow, right from the start, even the name itself, I just didn't like the name purely on intuition. And in this regard, I want to say, friends, that before you go anywhere, do anything, or open something somewhere, especially in Germany, because a huge influx has poured into Germany, you need to be careful. Think about yourself. Think about the fact that you shouldn't just rush where everyone else is going. Instead, consider those who aren't following the crowd. Think about some exclusive banks, events, or companies where you might still be able to get a job, but not in the mainstream banks. Because these things, they're not just under a microscope. Many people will say, "What do I have to hide? I have nothing to hide." Well, I have nothing to hide either. So what? Still, I try to organize my life according to better rules and not be part of the herd grazing where everyone else is. Especially now, there's a lot of attention on foreigners. There's an enormous amount of attention, very close attention, being paid to foreigners. Well, that's the current situation, my friends, as far as foreign individuals are concerned. An especially interesting case in point is when Mishustin, our esteemed Prime Minister, was officially recognized. He made it into the very top, the top most influential Jews on the entire planet, the most influential Jews. Mishustin took 18th place in the ranking of influential Jews. First place went to Benjamin Netanyahu and second to Witkoff, who is an aide to Trump and handles many matters. Now let me tell you about some of the more curious cases. The United Nations. Right now the session of the General Assembly is starting. That's where we were working hard, putting in effort. As a former United Nations employee, I still remember certain things from that old previous life of mine. What do I want to tell you? Donald Trump and Melania entered the United Nations through the main entrance. There are escalators there that lead upstairs. They got on the escalator, their entire entourage, the crowd behind them, all the hosts or escorts, everyone got on the escalator with them. The escalator stopped. And it actually stopped right at the bottom. As soon as they stepped onto the escalator, got on it, the escalator just suddenly stopped. They had to go upstairs on foot. Melania was wearing 12-centimeter heels. How could she possibly manage on those escalator steps? And Donald Trump trudged along behind her. And what's interesting is what happened next, because there was more to come. When Donald Trump started his speech, the teleprompter stopped working, and he relies on the teleprompter. Did you really think he was speaking on his own? No, my friends, every speech of his is carefully prepared. So when he sits there with his head down, saying nothing, it means the teleprompter has gone silent, and all Trump can do is lower his head and wait for the teleprompter to tell him what to say next. So, at the United Nations, Trump's teleprompter let him down and didn't continue. Such mishaps do happen in life. Have you ever had any funny mishaps like that happen to you? Just out of the blue for no reason? I think you have. And those are probably very interesting moments. If anyone wants to share, please share. I'll be happy to discuss your funny anecdotes with you. I am Tanya Karatsuba Said Burkan. Today we have you with us. Oh friends, it's already the 24th of September today. September is drawing to a close and autumn is coming into its own. It's raining in Switzerland. It's cold during the day. It's 11 degrees here in the Alps. And here, yes, the temperature. Here I am sitting by the sea. The temperature has dropped to 27 from 31 down to 27. That's a significant drop, but it's still very hot. It's already the 5th day, I think, that the storm has been going on. Yeah, it just won't stop. And it's the kind of storm where, the water is dirty, you just don't feel like it. When you're used to the water here being crystal clear, you swim and you can see everything.